Oh, well, nothing goes to plan. Got a little job I wanted to do while the ground was so hard with the frost and wet, but I spotted some wood chips, so let's get this tidied up. Well, you certainly can't beat popping a few nice new wood chips down. It doesn't last long, just a thin coating, just to make it look pleasing to the eye after we've spent time pruning the fruit bushes. Somewhere nice to walk, like I say, pleasing to the eye. And after 4 years, you can harvest them. And we've got a cubic metre there, or just under a cubic metre of reasonably good quality wood chips to add to my compost mixes. So now on to what we was going to do. The high winds that we had, we didn't get any more damage, but it must have blew that builder's trug bucket off somebody's vehicle. It should have been strapped down. Naughty naughty. I'm the one that's the winner, and everything's frozen solid. The frost's just coming out the ground a little bit, but not much, so I'm not going to be able to add anything to these beds. But this galvanised tank was on plot 3, where we've just laid the wood chips. Those 2 galvanised tanks and this one were here when we did hashtag starting a new allotment. That one was holed, so we couldn't use it, so I lined it and used it for the giant wormery, where we collect the juices for any new viewers, which there are lots. But these eventually stopped holding water, so hopefully I've got the levels right. We'll just set you up and we'll finish off this Hybernaculum, adding a few little bits to it, some holes there for the creatures to crawl in. Whether they be our 4-legged friends or not, it doesn't matter. Right, I'll just set you up, guys. So for an Hybernaculum, we just want to create spaces for our creature friends. Before, this used to be a whole log, because this was a lot deeper. It was just a storage area, so I've had to cut it in half so we can actually get it in. Create a little bit of interest, and hopefully once the galvanised tank's on, I won't have to move it again. It's an ideal way of getting rid of little bits of stones, bricks that snails or anything else can get into. Just finish that off. I think I've got some straw somewhere as well. Actually, in fact, I think I'll hold that there. Bit of everything in here. Holly and all sorts, so stick that in there. They can make their own way in. I think that'll do. All the other stuff we can get to the tip. We can't use it anywhere else. It's January the 3rd, 2025. Well, that went better than I thought. And they're near enough all level. If you just squint a little bit. Might have been better if I got the ice out and water first. But got some rough materials here. Got those clay balls. We've got some of the comfrey pipe. Some of my siftings. We've got something growing there in the middle of the screen. There's a lot of soot, etc. in here, right at the bottom. Just pinch a bit of that, put into the other one. Managed to get all the holly from here. And, oops, let's use the tripod. I've got some guttering that we're going to pop along here. It's a different shape from normal, but I noticed I haven't got any end caps. So I'll have to make a decision on that. But I was going to try and grow some strawberries under that shaded area. And just fill it up by hand, the guttering. But we'll have to have a look in my bag of tricks, see if there's any stop ends. Don't want to buy any if I can help it. We'll have a see, we'll see. So we've got all this rough looking compost here to go in. There's a few here as well, but the trouble is it's holding down the sheets. 2 bags of leaves left to pop into the bay. We've got the manure with the hay in there, some wood chips here, manure nuggets, some quality compost there, and then all the roots. So the roots can go in first, and then I might even chuck that cocoa coir in, unless the cocoa coir is sunk. And here's some of the leaf mould from 2 years ago, the bigger stuff. Could use some of that just to top everything off. And then we've got quite a bit of soil there. I think it's about 2 tonne of soil there, but it won't go far. There's some big tanks they are, but we'll do our best to fill them. It won't be today, but I thought I'd just share that with you. That's an extension now, so that's a Hybernaculum all the way along now. We'll just tidy everything up. I'll just bumble along, and then we can get rid of these bricks. I might even just chuck them under there, because there's a Hybernaculum under there as well. And I was thinking, when I emptied this, do I move it over to my boundary fence? Because that is wasted space. Oh, I do create myself some work. And I'll certainly have to think about cutting this holly hedge back as well before the nesting birds. All the berries are gone, so we can crack on with that. Mr. Robin over there just looking at me, tweeting away. And then we've got some sheets there that we can just bodge and codge just to make it a little bit bigger, to collect a little bit more rainwater. I've already sorted these tanks out. This hole held the nettle. I damaged the tap. That's sitting there, waiting for a new tap, or I'll tighten it up. I've emptied the end one, a big maul into it. I drained it into one tank, then we put another tank on top of here, topped this one up. I've emptied all the contaminated water that was from the manure runoff into this one, so that I can add it to the leaves. It's not too far away just to grab a bucket full, etc. And I've already started thinking about extending this. I've got 4 more barrels at home. I want to move that one there because I'm struggling to get at the canes, which means they just get dumped all on the floor, soaking wet, where if they're upright they tend to stay a little bit drier. Just little things like that that you think you're doing right first of all, and then you think, well, why did I do that? But we can get another 3 more barrels in here, and we can add barrels to the top. That will create the gravity fed watering system for these beds there. I hope you've all had a little bit of inspiration from watching my channel to go out there and do a little bit when the weather allows. It's been cold and frosty. Over the last 2 nights I've had 8 hours sleep. I'm on stand down now for the gritting, and by the time you watch this, we would have already had the snow. They're not sure what we're going to get, but I'm on standby for that as well. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, because I don't think anybody can predict what the weather's going to do. It's just so changeable. If you've liked the content, please give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down for the interaction. Leave me a comment what you've been up to. Have you done anything? I like to keep doing a little bit, just to a little bit of exercise, get the old heart pumping, and remove some of the fatty tissue from around my belly. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.